आनन्देश्वरसमारम्भाम् नित्यानन्देश्वरिमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. I welcome all of you with my love and respects. I welcome all the devotees, disciples, participants, visitors, viewers, everyone who are here to get the glimpses of Sadashivoham 2016. Is sitting with us through two-way video conferencing, a long list. This is the largest online centers joining program. Already 227 centers crashed and still 127 centers crashed and still joining. And I welcome all of you with my love and respects. Sadashivoham. Let me share some of the fundamental sacred secrets. The individual consciousness, Jiva, you have. The individual consciousness you have goes through 25 states of consciousness. Every day you recognize only 3. Deep sleep, dream, and waking state. Only these 3 is normally experienced every day by many of you. Deep sleep, dreaming, waking state. In Sanskrit, we have 3 words: Sushupti, Swapna, Jakrat. It's roughly translated into deep sleep, dream, and waking state. For the sake of easy communication, for time being, let me accept that rough translation. But actually, individual soul has a possibility of 25 states of consciousness. Waking state, dream state, deep sleep state. When the states crisscross each other, means when dream overlaps with the deep sleep state, or waking state overlaps on dreaming state, or dreaming state overlaps on waking state, like a crisscrossing. These 3 states, when they crisscross, they make 9 spaces Listen carefully. When dream enters into your waking state, it's nightmare. When waking state enters into the dream state, it's daydreaming. 25 states of consciousness an individual goes through. If you understand that, most of the sufferings you go through in your life will become irrelevant to you. Those sufferings do not have existence. They merely are make-believe existence. Listen. The make-believe experiences which do not have real existence, but which binds you, with which you suffer, all of that can become redundant even by understanding the 25 states of consciousness. The 25 states of consciousness an individual goes through, and 11 dimensions of the universe. Listen, the modern day so-called science is able to understand only 4 dimensions: length, breadth, depth, time. But the ancient science, the Sanatana Hindu Dharma, elaborately describes the 11 dimensions and the beings exist in the 11 dimensions: length, breadth, depth, time and space. These are the 5 unit dimensions, and the permutation combination of that 5, length, breadth with the time space, breadth, depth with the time space, length, depth with the time space, the various permutation combinations of these 5 basic dimensions forms 11 dimensions of the universe. Listen. Knowledge and understanding, even if it is intellectual, knowledge and understanding of this 11 dimension makes many of the suffering caused by others and the sufferings you cause to others redundant. Only a person who understands 11 dimensions of the universe can be non-violent, can be really non-violent. The ahimsa. The 11 dimensions of the universe, 25 states of consciousness, and then 5 aspects of Sadashiva, supreme reality, Ishvara, creation, operation, rejuvenation, delusion, liberation. Please understand, supreme cannot be just God, generator, operator, destroyer. Please understand, the supreme, as per Sanatana Hindu Dharma, Bhagavan, Brahman, Sadashiva, cannot be translated by the word God. The Western definition of God is generator, operator, destroyer. Only three aspects. The Hindu understanding of supreme reality is generator, operator, destroyer, deluder, and liberator. The major two aspects of life, unfortunately, was never grasped anywhere else other than this Saraswati Ganges civilization. Only the Saraswati Ganges civilization understood the world beyond seen. If you don't understand delusion, you can't understand beyond the four dimensions. You can't understand reality in its completion. God is not Sadashiva. Maybe I can contribute a new word, Godel. G-O-D-D-E-L. G-O-D-D-E-L. Godel. Listen. Whenever science or technology grows, the scientists and people who are expert in that field need to contribute right word. They need to support the language also to explain the concepts. English is learning spirituality, Sanatana Hindu Dharma first time. So let's contribute some good words. English is learning Sanatana Hindu Dharma from the source, I think first time. So Godel should be the word, not God. God is not Sadashiva. Sadashiva, Brahman, Bhagavan, all these words used in the Brahman used in Upanishad, Bhagavan used in Puranas, Sadashiva used in Agamas, cannot be translated as G-O-D, God, used in Western theologies. Understand, these five aspects of Sadashiva in the manifest form is called Ishvara, unmanifest form is Avyakta. Even this five is only the manifest form of Godel, Sadashiva. There is Avyakta, unmanifest part, component. The 25 states of consciousness individual goes through, Jiva goes through, the 11 dimensions of the universe, Jagat, 5 aspects of Ishvara, all these 3, when it is not understood, forms the Maya matrix. Understand? Maya matrix, the individual consciousness which goes through 25 states of consciousness and 5 aspects of supreme Sadashiva, Godel, 11 dimensions of universe, Jagat. If you do not understand, they form a Maya matrix in which you are caught. If you understand, not only you have the knowledge, you have the power to play with them. Understand? Knowledge brings power to play with them. Understanding this Maya matrix experientially and realizing the state of Sadashiva, that you are the source of this Maya matrix. Experiencing the state of Sadashiva, expressing the expressions, state, and manifesting the powers of Sadashiva is the purpose of Sadashivoham 2016. Listen. The science of individual soul beyond psychology. Understanding of these 25 states of consciousness will make whole psychiatry, psychology, psychoanalysis redundant. Unfortunately, now people who are in the field of unfortunately, the top people in the field of psychology, psychiatry, psychoanalysis are ganging up and branding literally every human emotion as disorder. The latest is searching to eat the right food, healthy food, is one of the mental disorders. Please understand. To have more and more passions, to bring literally any living human beings under their territory. Every human emotion has been declared as a disorder. I tell you, do not believe a science which finds only diagnosis, not the solution. Do not believe any science. Do not believe anything as science or a system which only defines the problem but not delivering the solution. We are not interested in a fine, amazing oration about the problem. We are interested in solution, even if it is raw and street smart. Understanding of these 25 states of consciousness makes psychology redundant. Understanding of 11 dimensions of the universe makes physics redundant. Physics is yet to catch up. Understanding of 5 aspects of Sadashiva makes many of the organization-based religions redundant. See, if you understand the world only superficially, generation, operation, destruction, you will visualize your God also only in that superficial level. Only if you understand depth, there is something called delusion and liberation. Your understanding about the Supreme will be complete. Your understanding about the universe will be complete. Your understanding about you will be complete. Understand what you desire in the life is different. What you believe is going to be happening in your life is different. What you desire will not manifest in your life. What you believe only will manifest in your life. What you desire is not going to manifest. What you believe is only going to manifest. Yesterday we were having a session in the Inner Awakening about the believed identity and desired identity. What do you believe and what do you desire? You may believe one thing, you may desire something else. For example, you desire wealth, you desire health, you desire name and fame, but you strongly believe all this will never happen in your life. You desire wealth, you desire name and fame, you desire health, you desire all this. But do you believe all these are going to manifest in your life? No. Most of us don't, most of the time. What do you believe only manifests. If it's a bad news for you, if you feel, oh God, then I don't believe anything good. I always believe. When it comes to bad things, I visualize so clearly and see that it is possible for me, it is going to happen. When it comes to good thing, I can't even imagine. Even if I push my visualization, it is not clicking. How many of you feel that? I have a good news for you. Desire, belief, both can be redundant, can be made irrelevant by the conscious will. Understand? You desire for great health, but you always believe you will only be tired, sick, dragging your life. Your desire is health. Your belief is sick or clinically fit. But if you will install the will of immortality of the Sadashiva, this both, your desire and belief, both can become redundant, irrelevant. Bringing the will to play and making your belief and desire redundant is what I call Jeevan Mukthi, living enlightenment. Listen, bringing your will, playing with your life, with your will, making desire and belief redundant is living enlightenment. You may be believing your life is negative. You may be desiring to have your life positive. but you can bring your will and make both redundant and manifest the life you want is the science of Sadashivoham. That is the science of Sadashivoham. Your will, Anya, is powerful enough to make your desire and belief both redundant. Listen. Tons of methodologies Sadashiva is revealing in the Agamas. Agama is complete works of Sadashiva. Because the word complete exists, I'll accept that word complete works. Agama is complete works of Sadashiva. In complete works of Sadashiva, which is available, Sadashiva explains tons of methods. He explains the physics of the Maya matrix, chemistry of the Maya matrix, biology of the Maya matrix, he explains the physics of mastering the matrix. The chemistry need to happen in you to master the matrix. Biology of mastering the matrix. Above all, the alchemy of Sadashivoham. I'll give you one small example. There's a beautiful verse in Guru Gita. Ajnana timirandasya jnananjana shalakaya chakshurun militam yena tasmai sri gurave namaha. The translation is, I bow down to the Guru who applied the knowledge eyeliner and opened my eyes, which was blinded by ignorance. If you just read this superficially, you will miss the whole truth. You need to ask the question, how can eyeliner open the eyes and make the eyes have vision? Eyeliner is always beauty product. Maybe it can make others feel you have a big eyes. That cannot bring vision. It can change the reputation of your eyes, but not the character of your eyes. Then what does this shloka mean? If you further read the Agamas, at one place Sadashiva describes detailed way. Jnananjana is an actual eyeliner prepared by an enlightened master by instilling his bioenergy into it. If it is applied on all your three eyes, you also need to understand here, when Sadashiva says Chakshurun militam yena, he uses the word plural, not dual. So it does not mean two eyes. Sanskrit has singular, dual, plural. So he is using the word plural, not dual. He is not talking about just two eyes. He is talking about three eyes or more than two. Chakshurun militam yena. Ajnanatimirandasya jnananjana shalakaya chakshurunmilitam yena. It is actually a alchemy science where with a pure ghee, pure cotton wig is used and the lamp is lit, energized through the awakened third eye of an incarnation or an enlightened being. His very bioenergy is instilled in that fire, and the smoke which comes out of that fire is captured on a silver vessel, and the pure cow ghee, desi cow ghee, is added to that through the proper process. An alchemy product called Jnananjana is prepared. That Jnananjana applied on 3 eyes detoxifies all the 3 eyes and raises your frequency, makes you understand the 5 aspects of Ishvara and 11 dimensions of universe and 25 states of consciousness, the whole Maya matrix. It is an alchemy science to master Maya matrix. Most of us use this verse just to bow down, or we have a very superficial understanding. Oh, ignorance is covering the eyes and knowledge is like eyeliner. You apply that and your eyes open. How can eyeliner open your eyes? A simple logic. Your eyeliner may make others to see you, but how can it make you to see others? It's an alchemy. It's an alchemy described elaborately in the Agamas to make you experience awakening of all 3 eyes and manifest many powers Sadashiva describes in Agamas. Understand of course, all of you are going to have the Jnananjana in Sadashivoham 2016. A properly prepared Jnananjana which literally functions on all your 3 eyes and makes you all manifest all the powers of Sadashiva. The whole science of Sadashivoham, methods to realize it, the tons of methods explained by Sadashiva in his complete works. I am literally using every possible available tool, method to awaken, every possible tool and method to awaken and give you the experience of Sadashivoham. From Jnananjana to the ultimate, very Shaktipada. Shaktipada is not energy darshan. Understand? The Shakti Nipada is not energy darshan. Energy darshan is too small word. Shakti Nipada can be translated only as power darshan. It can only be translated even roughly as power manifestation darshans. You will be experiencing from Jnananjana, the alchemy of Sadashivoham, to Shakti Nipata, the power manifestation darshans, whole spectrum, everything Sadashiva is revealing in his complete works will be experientially available to you. Experientially available to you in Sadashivoham. Understand it is an invitation for you from the spaceship Kailasa to wake up from the Maya matrix. It's an invitation for you from the spaceship Kailasa. Even Kailasa was attacked by Ravana with multiple hands, the artificial ignorance. But could not do anything. The artificial ignorance got crushed under the Kailasa. It's an invitation from the spaceship Kailasa for all of you to wake up from the Maya matrix, to master Maya matrix. Do not miss waking up from the Maya matrix by giving the reasons which are given to you by artificial ignorance. Do not have the artificial ignorance reasons. Understand? People ask me in that Matrix movie, what is the artificial ignorance, Swamiji? Artificial intelligence is what I call artificial ignorance. What is the artificial ignorance, Swamiji? The common understandings we started executing, which has no existential reality but which affects all our lives strongly, like a currency. The concept of citizenship, concept of ownership, all that has no existential reality, but the understandings we evolved, we arrived for our coexistence, those are called artificial ignorance. I tell you, I am not saying artificial ignorance should not be there. I am only saying it should not be there more than 51% in you. Let your life not be driven by it. If it is less than 51%, you are the master. Artificial ignorance can be a great slave, but not the master on their own. If more than 51% of you is artificial ignorance, then already you are under matrix. Understand? Don't think matrix may start at some time. If 51% of you are being driven by this artificial ignorance, like a concept of ownership, concept of money, concept of currency, concept of citizenship and all that, which is not there existentially, but made to believe, understandings, If more than 51% of you is being driven by all this, please be very clear. You are already under the matrix. This is the direct invitation for you to wake up and master the matrix. Don't use the reasons under the matrix to deny the invitation, to refuse the invitation. And I tell you, Sadashivoham 2016 is your right. It's your right. Create. Just will persistence. Neither you need to believe nor you need to desire. Desire, belief, both are redundant. Create will. You will be there experiencing Sadashivoham 2016. Create a will. All the reasons under the Maya matrix will automatically melt down. They have no power. Understand? Still Sadashiva has not given up on the universe. He has not given up on the planet Earth. The artificial intelligence or artificial ignorance has not yet completely taken over the planet Earth. Still we have our places of landing. Still we have Bididi to land Kailash. Bididi is the land where the spaceship Kailash lands. Listen. Sadashivoham is your right. It's your right. It's not your desire or belief. It is your right. Will it. Create a will. All the reasons under the matrix, Maya matrix, cannot stop you. All the reasons under the Maya matrix cannot stop you. Neither money nor the idea of business priorities or the idea of citizenship, travel, visa, permit, nothing can stop you experiencing Sadashivoham, because all of them are under Maya matrix, artificial ignorance. Your will to experience Sadashivoham is a direct incoming call through which you just disappear and appear into the spaceship. Listen carefully. Kailash is the different space from where human beings are asked to wake up from the artificial ignorance and realize their true nature of Sadashivoham. If you have seen the Matrix movie, it can be roughly equated to the spaceship. Roughly the equation. It cannot completely work because Kailash can never be destroyed. Understand? Making a will to experience Sadashivoham and conquering all the Maya matrix and making it there is actually itself is a glimpses of Sadashivoham. Glimpses of Sadashivoham is not this 2-day program. It is an experience how you are going to make it to Sadashivoham 2016. Glimpses of Sadashivoham is not this 2-day program. It is the experience how you are going to make it to Sadashivoham 2016 just by your will and will persistence. When you declare and create a will, what all the matrix affects you, what all the way the Maya matrix tries to attack you, seduce you, what all the way the Maya matrix will try to keep you under its control, it will try everything. How you are going to keep your will persistence and make it to Sadashivoham 2016, that is the glimpses of Sadashivoham. That will give you the glimpse of Sadashivoham. See you there to experience Sadashivoham 2016. Let's see how many neos are going to become new. As I said, it is your right. It is your right. You neither need to desire nor need to believe. Will it. Will it. Desiring is the positive thinking. Belief is mostly negative thinking. Will is making it as a reality. Desire is you, belief is your spouse, will is your guru. Desire is you, belief is your other half, will is your guru. Will it. Nothing in this Maya matrix can melt down your will. Nothing in this Maya matrix has a capacity to destroy your will. It cannot interfere in your will. So now starts the game between will and Maya matrix. Look and analyze all the attacks from Maya matrix. Understand it with the clarity and assurance. Ultimately, artificial ignorance or artificial intelligence or Maya matrix cannot destroy you, cannot bind you, cannot keep you under its control forever. No. No. Let us start the game between the will persistence, which is a direct invitation from the Kailasa to experience Sadashivoham 2016, and the Maya matrix. Now starts the game. I am giving the official call to all of you, official invitation. Welcome to Sadashivoham 2016 to master the Maya matrix, manifest experience, express, manifest Sadashiva's state, expressions and powers. Welcome. Welcome to Sadashivoham 2016. So many people ask me, how can I prepare myself for Sadashivoham? If you are very clear, your will is very clear, you are going to make it to Sadashivoham 2016, you can receive Jnananjana. Now itself it is ready. Start applying it on all your three eyes every night before you go to sleep. Every morning after you wake up. That's the best way you can prepare yourself and come there just to open up. A heated coconut does not need hard things to break it. Just by hand you can break. If you have prepared yourself and come, like a popcorn, tap, 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 you will open up. It's a heated popcorn. Or, anyhow, even if you don't prepare and come, I will do my job. I will sit open, do whatever need to be done, boiling or heating up. I will do everything. But if you prepare and come, the manifestation will be 1,000 times more. And not only that, the Jnananjana will constantly help you not to fall into the Maya matrix. Maya matrix may have multiple hands showing various things to keep you under the matrix, either by seducing or scaring. Either by caring or scaring. Understand? Caring from some people are really scaring. Because the context and intention of the person matters. Even if you are cared by the Maya matrix, be scared. Even if you get killed by Sadashiva, it's the greatest blessing than to be cared by the Maya matrix. Now starts the official game. You have received the landed call. You have received the invitation from Kailasa for Sadashivoham 2016. Make a will, start the game. Anybody who decides, make sure you are going to be there for Sadashivoham 2016. Jnananjana is available, but do not take it and waste if you are not clear about your will. Only with your clear will, if you are sure, it's available to use but not to abuse. It's available to use but not to misuse. And do not share it with others. If you received it, it's only for you. With others, if you share it, it may have unnecessary, unwanted effects on them for which you will become responsible. So, better handle it with care. I have given the introduction, what is going to be the Sadashivoham. Next, I will give you the glimpse. Be blissful. Nithyanandeshwara Samarambam Nithyanandeshwari Madhyamam Asmadacharya Parayantam Vande Guru Paramparam. I welcome you all for the experiential session on Jiva. Listen, first let me define Jiva. What you perceive yourself as of now to whatever you can perceive you. Till that level, you are called Jiva. When you cannot perceive yourself anymore individually, separately, you are Shiva. Listen, let me repeat once more. Whatever you perceive as you, as of now, from this point to whatever you can perceive as you, whatever you are perceiving as of now, to whatever you can perceive as you. Understand? Even if you perceive yourself as Sadashiva, you are only Jiva. It's within the matrix. There will be a space where you will not perceive yourself as an individual. Only then you are Shiva. Listen carefully. I'll repeat once more. Whatever you think as you as of now, from this to whatever you can think of you, perceive you, all that put together is Jiva. There will be a space where you can't perceive you separately. That is Shiva. The basic unit of Jiva, I'll explain now. Listen carefully. Basic unit of Jiva. Listen. You all know in your day-to-day experience, sometime you are with thoughts. I should say most of the time maybe. You are with thoughts. There are some moments in your life where you don't have thoughts, without thoughts. I can project this on you in your screen. I project it on LED screen. Listen, with thoughts now, there are some moments in your life where you don't have thoughts. Every night, deep sleep. That is why you wait for that moment where you can forget your spouse and boss. There are some moments in your day-to-day life without thoughts. And there are some moments in your life where you have that clear I identity with I consciousness. Now, for example, now, how many of you feel you have that I identity clearly, I consciousness? If you have not raised the hand, you don't have. Okay. Waking state, you have that I, that idea. Listen carefully. In the dream state, you don't have that I clearly. That is why the thoughts are driving you. The I is not able to do anything in your dream. You can see your thoughts are acting, functioning in much higher frequency than your individual I. How many of you understand what I am saying? That is why I am saying in the dream state you do not have the I clearly. In the deep sleep you don't have the I completely. How many of you understand there is a space in you where there is no I? So the basic units of your life is with thoughts, without thoughts, with I consciousness, without I consciousness. These four crisscrosses each other. I'll explain. When you have thoughts and the identity, idea, I, both, it is called waking state, where almost 80% of you are. Not 100%, I am seeing still. Some are in Pongal Samadhi, some are in Puri Samadhi, some are in Vada Samadhi, some are in Pav Bhaji Samadhi. I don't know what is the evening snacks. Huh? Mixture. Okay. Mixture and bundi samadhi. Whatever. In the waking state, you have I and thoughts, both. How many of you are able to understand what I am saying? I want you to come along with me, so that when I explain the 25 states, it will be literally experience for you. First understand, step by step. Where you have thoughts and I consciousness, that is Jagrat state. Where you have thoughts, but the I identity is not strong enough. It is almost non-existent. That is why in one night itself you will see the dream of you getting married, you writing exams, you being chastened by the tiger and elephant and lion. All bad dreams. No. The I is not that clear. Thoughts drive the whole happening. Thinking, thoughts are there, but I consciousness is not there. That is what I call dream state. If you have any doubts, I will further give you more examples and give you clarity. There is a space where you neither have I thought nor have thoughts. You neither have I consciousness nor have thoughts. That's what I call deep sleep. I think 20% of you are there. Whoever has not laughed, I know, they are there. Where you do not have I consciousness and you do not have thoughts. Both are missing. That is what I call sushupti, deep sleep state. Then there is a fourth state, very rarely you experience, where you have I, but you don't have thoughts. Very rarely. When you are having energization. When you are really, really unclutched. Or when you go through a very powerful energy experience, those moments, you get the glimpse of it. We call it Turiya. Where there is no thought, but there is that I exist. The whole Buddhist enlightenment is only up to Turiya. Understand, these four are the basic units. Of consciousness, in Sanskrit, I use the word Jakrat, Swapna, Sushupti, Turiya. Turiya means simply fourth state, that's all. Fourth state. There's no meaning for the word Turiya technically. Technically, Turiya, if you translate that word Turiya, means fourth state. Maybe in English I can give a new word, awakened state. I myself can create a word, that's all. There is no English translation. If I translate that word Turiya, it only comes as fourth state. Listen. There is a fifth state on which all these four states operates. All these four functions, that fifth state is almost like this board. Board on which all these four happens in you. The idea of I, the awareness, the consciousness, whatever. That is called Turiyatita, alive state, where the wax out of which your waking state and dream state is made is under your control. You can melt this wax and make whatever you want. Anything you want, it will be under your control. I'll try to repeat once more. Waking state is the state where you have the idea I and thoughts. Dream state where you have thoughts but no idea I, stable I. That is why in one dream itself you will feel you are writing examination, and same way you will feel you have your son next to you. You would have written examination much before your marriage. And this examination fear is one of the strong wedge inserted into your consciousness. How many of you, after 3-4 years of your education got over, used to have a dream that you missed your examination? God, please keep the hands up. this dream. First of all, I don't have dream. Next thing, I never went to examination. So both problems. Neither I have dreams, nor I went to examinations. Examination, fear is the strongest wedge inserted into human consciousness. If we can remove examinations from our education system, world will become non-violent. Really, world will become non-violent. Examination is the worst thing. You go through most horrible experience thinking that if you go through this experience, you may never need to go through any other horrible experiences in your life. It's like I read a one-liner. Husband is a person who stands by you during all the problems, trials, tests, difficulties, which will not be there if he is not there in your life. Now, examination is almost like that only. I am seeing thousands of people every day, either in classes, programs, or giving personal interviews, darshans, or people who come to hear about their Akashic records, whatever. With all my experience, I tell you, the largest reason human beings suffer without experiencing the fourth state is examination fear. The human beings I dealt with, mostly Indians I can say, with thoughts, without the idea, what you go through is swapna, dream state. Neither thoughts nor the identity I, both does not exist. That is the sushupti, deep sleep state. And you have the thought I, but you have the consciousness, identity I, but no thoughts. That's very rare phenomena. Very rarely you go through that during energization, initiation or Kundalini awakening. That is Turiya. So this is the basic unit. The space where all these four is happening, like this board on which all the four are written, that space is called Turiyadita. Alive state. The fourth state is awakened state. Fifth is alive, Turiyadita. I want you to take few minutes and take notes. Usually I'll say, you don't need to take notes, listen. But now I want you to write also once more. So you are all clear. I can take you to the next step. Please listen. First, I want you to intellectually understand this column. Then I'll explain step by step and define the states of consciousness and give you the example and raise you to that experience. I'll do it literally like a process. When I'm doing that, I'm going to be sitting center of you guys. We'll be sitting in mandala and I'll be there down in with you guys. Now I only want you to understand intellectually. Listen, all these 5 states, deep sleep, dream, waking, awakened, alive, all these 5 states in Sanskrit, Sushupti, Swapna, Jakrat, Turiya, Turiyatita. All these 5 states cross each other. You may ask, how? Because you are no more a single integrated being. All the time, one part of you is planning, strategizing about your future and possibilities. The other part of you is just interested in denying you, which is strategizing. The part which goes on strategizing about you and your future is called mind, head, intellect, logic. The part which goes on denying you does not want the direction. Not because it is right or wrong, just it does not want. It's like a tantrum throwing child, what you call as heart emotion. Please understand, you have been given a very wrong idea, your heart and emotion is always right. No. Both are corrupt. Understand, both are corrupt. Both carry deep incompletions. Heart wants something just because it does not want that. Heart denies something just because head wants it. It's not that always heart is right. No. If you feel heart is right, no. You are wrong. Head is wrong. That does not mean heart is right. Head is wrong does not mean heart is right. Sometimes head is right. That does not mean heart is wrong. Sometimes head is wrong. That does not mean heart is right. Both have their incompletions, both have their problems. Because you are no more a single being. See, invariably when the whole humanity has started experiencing this dual being, two part, that is when our masters declare the Kali started. So two parts of you experiences two different states at a time always. Please understand. If your head, which is strategizing about your future, is now awake, your heart is in dream state, sitting somewhere and doing something else. If you have to put your head and heart together, keep yourself in the waking state, you feel stressed, tensed. Oh, I can't be like that for a long time. Maybe a few minutes, okay. Not more than that. How many of you understand what I am saying? How many of you experientially feel, yes, I go through this? Understand, the line, vertical line is a heart projector. Vertical line is heart's line. Horizontal line is logic's line. Head's line. So listen, when your head is in Sushupti, heart is also in Sushupti, it is called Sushupta Sushupti, deep sleep, deep sleep. Very rarely you experience this. Even in your deep sleep, if you are lying on your bed for 8 hours, maximum you may experience this deep sleep for 20 to 30 minutes, not more than that. Please understand. Head, heart, both parts of you experiencing Sushupti and Sushupti, deep sleep and deep sleep. It may happen just for a few minutes in the whole 6 hours or 8 hours you are lying on your bed. When your head experiencing dream state and your heart experiencing deep sleep, you can perceive this experience. When you dream and just fall asleep without even waking up, you will dream something and you will fall asleep without waking up. Again you will dream something, you will fall asleep. Maybe third time or fourth time when you dream only you will wake up. How many of you have experienced this? When you wake up you will remember all the 3-4 dreams. That is what this state, that Sushupti and Swapna. Then Sushupti and Jakrat, Sushupti and Turiya, Sushupti and Turiyatita. Understand that horizontal line is line of logic, mind. What is your strategy? See, one part of you constantly strategizes about your future, your life, logically goes on analyzing right, wrong, how to get the maximum out of everything. That line of head, logic line. And the other part, heart, emotion. Even the word heart may not be right word, because somehow unfortunately you have that very good idea about heart. I will develop some other word. The crying child, the immature child inside you, which goes on throwing tantrum. Whatever your father says is wrong. Once you decide, just goes on saying no, 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 that becomes mantra. The no becomes mantra for one part of you. A complete frustration about everything. Anything which can be seen and which can't be seen. People get frustrated because they can't see Sadashiva. It's good, sometimes you are not able to see. No, we get frustrated even with things which we have never seen, we never experienced, we never perceived. The tantrum throwing child. So better I will use the word TC, tantrum child. The tantrum child is the vertical line. The tantrum child in you is the vertical line, and logical, strategizing mind, that is the horizontal line. Both of you go through, please understand, some of you are small family inside, some of you are joint families inside, some of you are apartment complex inside. Please understand, do not believe you are one person. If you think you are one person, Even you will not be able to answer many of your questions about your own self. How many of you feel there are many things which you are not able to answer about you? Then how will anybody else find the answer? That is why if somebody questions you too much, you get angry about them. Even I don't know, how can I explain to you? How many of you feel many times even you are not able to handle yourself? Raise your hand. That is what I mean, exactly the tantrum throwing child. Just saying no, no. I will face whatever it may be. Whatever comes, I'll face. But when it actually comes, you will not be able to face that. Now, how many of you do? Listen carefully. Clearly, you take a very stupid decision with the thought current. When it comes, I will face. Whatever, come what may. And when it comes, you will collapse, you will not face. How many of you? That is what I am calling tantrum throwing child. Just saying no. Does not bother even about you getting lost something. You just want to collapse, destroy everything. Even if I die, that is okay. Let me destroy the world and die. Let me pull the whole thing down and die. The tantrum throwing child experiences different state, and the logic, strategizing logic, which constantly plans for your life. That personality experiences different state of consciousness. That is why you go through various states of consciousness. Listen. The TC, tantrum throwing child, goes through the deep sleep, and logic goes through the deep sleep, both experiencing deep sleep. That's what I said. Maximum you may experience 20 to 30 minutes, even if you lie down 8 hours in your bed. Then tantrum throwing child going through the dream, and the logic going through deep sleep. Earlier I explained that side, now I am explaining this side. Listen carefully. Earlier I gave an example. You going to dream, falling asleep without waking up. That is what is the example I gave for your logic experiencing dream, tantrum throwing child experiencing deep sleep. Now I am showing you this side. The tantrum throwing child experiencing dream, but the logic experiencing deep sleep. Listen carefully. That is what I call, if I have to find an English equivalent word, frustration. In Sanskrit we call it virakti. Vrakta means the tantrum throwing part of you is active, but the logic is completely absent. Listen carefully. In Sanskrit it's called vrakti. In English I am trying to translate with the word frustration. I'll give you the context where the tantrum throwing you is so alive, wildly active and dreaming. But the logic with which you need to control you, that reins are not in your hand. It's like you are sitting on a wild horse and the horse is running on a hill. It may even jump into cliff now. I am talking about this part where, see, this is TC, means TC, tantrum throwing child, this whole line. This whole line is logic, your mind. I am talking about this state. The tantrum throwing child experiencing swapna, dream, wild, going literally wild. And your logic, which is supposed to control, put a rein, is sleeping. It's like you are sitting on a wild horse and you are not able to control the wild horse. It is running. It may jump anytime off the cliff. All the decisions you take in frustration, please understand, all decisions you take in frustration will destroy you. Even if you think it is good decision, I tell you, do not do permanent damage to you because of your temporary sadness. Just don't take decisions when you know you are frustrated. Whenever you know your tantrum throwing child is wildly active and your logic with which you need to control your perception is absent, don't decide. You will be overloaded with frustration. Don't decide. How many of you understand you went through this in your life? How many of you are able to catch what I am describing? Please raise your hand. Next, the tantrum throwing child is in waking state, but your logic is in deep sleep. It means you are not frustrated, you are very destructive. Understand? Very consciously you agree for destruction. You agree for the kind of a tantrum throwing lifestyle. You agree to be in denial. What can I do? That's all. Very consciously you wind up. You withdraw. I may use the word self-denial for this state. The state now I am circling. The state now I have circled, I'll call that as self-denial, where the tantrum throwing child is awake. I should use the word wake up. It's in a waking state. But your logic, the strategizing mind, the strategizing component of you is completely asleep. The next, the tantrum throwing child entering into Turiya, tantrum throwing child entering into Turiya, and the logic in deep sleep. One good thing is, the moment tantrum throwing child enters into Turiya, he gets healed. He is no more dangerous. He gets healed. Listen, very important thing. If a tantrum throwing child in you catches the glimpse of thoughtlessness, Turiya, even once, the whole thing becomes seeking. That is why the hippies become seekers even if they get one glimpse. The tantrum throwing child in you becomes a powerful seeker even if you catch one glimpse of Turiya. So I will call this state as Turiya plus Sushupti, which I marked. Seeking awakened but don't know what to do. Your logic does not know what to do, how to proceed. But you know something you need to discover. I will call that as a seeking but not active. Means you don't plan about how to go about it. Your logic has not found any method. It has not discovered any way to seek. But the tantrum throwing child is now throwing tantrum about everything which
is seen or felt which is not matching with the reality of the Turiya. See, now the Turiya becomes the benchmark, the awakened state becomes the benchmark. Anything which is not matching up to that mark, you throw tantrum about it, but you don't know how to make everything match up to the standard. Understand? At this state, you will say a big capital letter no to everything external. But you don't know to whom you should say yes. You only know to say no to everything, but you don't know to whom you should say yes. How many of you think you got this? Next, Turiyatita and Sushupti. When you enter Turiyatita, when the tantrum throwing child enters into Turiyatita, and the logic is in Sushupti, I call this accidental enlightenment. No, there are few people who got this. They got it accidentally by Guru's grace or by the high energy experience without their logic planning for it. This J. Krishnamurti actually had a glimpse, but accidentally. The next, your tantrum throwing child experiencing deep sleep and your logic experiencing dream state. Understand? This is very interesting. Just now I explained. Where you dream but go back to the deep sleep, again dream and go back to deep sleep. You need to know maximum only 30% of you is your logic part. 70% of you is the tantrum throwing child inside you. That is why how much ever you strategize, always that tantrum throwing child wins in your life. How many of you agree with that statement? How much ever you plan, finally this tantrum throwing fellow wins the game. Even if your logic, for example, tomorrow you have to give a presentation. Your logic is planning for your presentation even in your dream. But the tantrum throwing child pulls you back from the dream to deep sleep state. That is what I will call this Sushupti Swapna, what I marked. Next, the tantrum throwing child experiencing deep sleep, but the logic experiencing waking state. I'll say in this state, your logic thoroughly plans for your future. You will sit and think, nicely plan. But within next 24 hours, you will forget the whole thing and you will start thinking again the same thing and do the same plan. As if the whole thing got control deleted. How many of you experienced this? Your logic's plan, but your tantrum throwing child is not even interested in looking at it. That is what this state, where 70% of you are sleeping and 30% of you is strategizing. It's like 70% of you boycott that meeting. How can any corporate meeting be successful if 70% is boycotting? See, I'll put it in a very simple way. What you desire is your logic. What you believe is your tantrum throwing child. You will never get what you desire. Please understand, you will get only what you believe. You desire always to have wealth, but you believe you will never going to get it. You are never going to get it. You desire to have health, but you strongly believe that is not part of your life. So you will not manifest what you desire, you will only manifest what you believe. People always confuse between desire and belief. Your desire is your logic, your strategy, your future plan. Your tantrum throwing child is what you believe as you. I think now it's too clear. How many of you are catching what I am saying, this statement? Understand, next, your tantrum throwing child is in deep sleep, but your logic is in Turiya. During these moments only you get the darshan, vision of gods, goddesses, guru. But it goes away. It doesn't stay permanently, because anything only if your tantrum throwing child also cooperates only stays with you. For example, if your tantrum throwing child means the TC, if he enters into Turiya, and your logic is in Sushupti, which I circled now, at that state, if you get any experience of God, Guru, Darshan, it stays with you permanently, because 70% receives it. But this state, anything you get will not be permanent. It will not stay with you. It doesn't stay with you. In both states you get, but this, only if your tantrum throwing child enters into Turiya and you experience something, it becomes permanent. Means your belief enters into that state, not your desire. When your desire enters, your belief will pull you back. Ramakrishna gives a very beautiful example. All his examples are completely from Bengali villages, because he lived his whole life in Dakshineswar, which was a village in those days, and he was born in Kamarpukur, which is a remote village. He gives a very beautiful example. These boys will catch the mungus. Am I right? The pronunciation? Mangus or mungus? How you pronounce? Whatever. The boys, when they play in the paddy fields, they catch the mungus. If they catch more than 5, 6, they can't keep them under control. So they will tie a rope in their tail and put a brick in the other end and leave them to go for further hunting. These fellows, they will enter into their home, which is like a dug below the ground. Even if they enter and hide in their nets, in their holes, the boys will come and just pick up the brick and pull the rope. They will come out, they will carry them. Just like the mongoose, in whose tail the rope is tied with a brick, can never hide, can never rest in his hole. If your belief is holding you back, just your desire cannot take you anywhere. Because the belief is a rope and brick. It will just pull you out. Listen, here, your belief is in deep sleep, only your desire experiences higher awareness, then it doesn't stay permanently. If your desire, even if your desire is in deep sleep, if your belief enters into the higher consciousness, you don't lose it. Next, the tantrum throwing child in Sushupti, and you enter into Turiya. The logic enters into Turiya. Again, this state also will not be permanent. It will not be permanent because the tantrum throwing child is 70% of you. That's more powerful. It will pull you out. But very good introduction, because with your logic, deep seeking, sometimes you catch the glimpse of unclutching. You caught the glimpse of unclutching, but you lost it. How many of you have that experience? This is the state you experienced. The state I have circled now, that's the state you experienced. If you got, unclutching comes by your desire, not by belief. Bhava Samadhi comes by your belief, not by desire. Understand? Unclutching comes by your desire, logical seeking. Bhava Samadhi comes by your belief, a deep feeling connection. The tantrum throwing child, when he feels connected, you experience Bhava Samadhi. I think now many are experiencing Bhava Samadhi. I am seeing many faces. Already experienced. I think I am experientially putting you in Sushupti. I am experientially showing you Sushupti. If your belief is in deep sleep and desire is in Turiyatita, that's the state I have circled. You do catch Satori, but which does not stay back. It doesn't stay back. It goes away. But if your belief catches Turiyatita, desire is not cooperating. That is, I can say, this state. Your belief means tantrum throwing child is catching Turiyatita, but your desire, logic, is in deep sleep, Sushupti. It's not cooperating. This will become permanent, but this will not be permanent. If you achieve this, you will always lose. Achieving this is very easy, but you will lose it. Achieving this needs little practice, but you will not lose it. This comes by Bhava Samadhi, feeling connection. This comes by unclutching, your own effort. If both happens, that is what, if both happens, that is what is called Turiyatita, which becomes permanent. Thank you. Be blissful.
Make few statements, few basic truths. 25 states of consciousness is multi-dimensions of you. Listen. All the 25 states are part of you. Nothing is good, nothing is bad. Deep sleep is as much you need. Please listen. Deep sleep is as much needed to you as you need Turyatita. The whole 25 states is your 25 dimension. Only thing, you becoming powerless during the deep sleep or the dream state is the problem. If you become powerless, even waking state is the problem. Now I am giving you the next understanding. Please understand. Initially, it will look like this dream, deep sleep, they are all lower state, and this Turyatita or higher state. That is nothing more than your wife is bad and somebody else's wife is. That's all. Go to any part of the world, Indian restaurant, people always see the other's plate and order. Not the menu card. No, I have traveled all over the world. Only Indian restaurant. Always what you don't have looks greater. Only based on that psychology, it is as if shown this is higher and this is lower. One good thing is there, in those states you don't get powerless so easily, that's all. But if you decide to become powerless, you can be powerless anywhere. If you decide to become powerful, you can be powerful anywhere. Fundamentally, this whole 25 state is 25 phases of you, 25 dimensions of you. Nothing is bad, nothing is good. Because many times you become powerless in dream state, it looks like a bad. Not the state is bad, but your habit and pattern of becoming powerless there is bad. How many of you are understanding? State is not bad. Understand? All these 25 states of consciousness is 25 dimensions of you. You are 25 phases. You are 25 dimensions. In the waking state, how you are able to control larger part of you. You can control your hands. You can control your legs. Many things you can control in your waking state. When you want, you can get up and go and pick up a cup of tea. When you want, you can go and use the restroom. In the dream state, if you find a restroom, don't use. It's a trap. Once more, I am repeating, if you missed it. In the dream state, if you find a restroom, don't use. It is a trap. When your bladder is full, it is capable of sending instruction to your brain, and the whole restroom will be built. And you will be made to feel comfortable. Only things are a little wet or hot, you realize what has happened. Understand, your ability to have power over your internal and external things makes certain state is good or bad. That's all. Shall I repeat? In the deep sleep state, you don't have power over anything. You just become completely powerless. That's why we feel it's bad. In the dream state, we have power over certain few thought, but not more than that. In the waking state, the powerfulness is little more. In Turiya, the powerfulness will be complete internal and external. In Turyatita, the powerfulness over everything exists. So fundamentally, your focus need to be on being powerful, not on changing the states of consciousness. Understand? Rich people don't work for money, they work for excellence, money follows them. Rich people don't work for money, they work for excellence, money follows them. Powerful people work for powerfulness, all the 25 states of consciousness follows them. Don't try to work to change the states of consciousness. Work to be powerful in the state you are in now. That powerfulness will penetrate all the 25 states. Each state you manifest certain powers. Understand? All addiction pattern is stuck in Sushupti Swapna, means dream and deep sleep state. That cluster, that zone is the zone where all the addiction patterns are there. If your powerfulness starts oozing out into that, suddenly addictions dry out. They become powerfulness. For example, if you are addicted to food, when that manifests as power, you become free from food. Means simply idea of food disappears from you. All patterns, all addictions are complete only when they manifest as powers. Till then, it is not complete. Understand? Smoking, if it becomes the power of ability to increase and decrease the temperature of your body, it's a liberation. Till then, possibility of it coming back is there always. Smoking is nothing but the pleasure of internal adjustment of temperature. Certain parts of your body, if the temperature is adjusted, it gives certain pleasure, internal pleasure. It's almost like an internal scratching. If somebody scratches your back, how you feel? Just like that, internal organs getting scratched. That is why you feel so good about it. This pattern should manifest as a power, an ability to adjust your temperature internally and externally. Then you are free from smoking once for all. All patterns, all powerlessness should manifest as powers. Only then you are free. Only with powers you are free. Understand? Power manifestation is not some silly joke or magic training I am giving you here. No. I am not giving you some silly magic training or silly cheating game training. No. It is clearly installing you again and again, doing prana pratishta of Mahasadashiva in you, or installing you in Mahasadashiva. Understand? Prana pratishta is God, installing God into the deity. Power manifestation is you being installed into Sadashiva, or Sadashiva being installed into you. Three important words: muscle memory, biomemory, bioenergy. I'll define them. Listen. Memory means repetition of certain activity without the interference of your conscious involvement, because you have the wrong belief you can attend only one thing at a time. Listen. Memory means making things work automatically in you. Because you developed a wrong belief, you can attend to only one thing at a time. Person with awareness will not have memory. Memory is very poor substitute you build for awareness. Let me repeat once more. Memory is a poor substitute you build for your awareness. Sometimes you will sit in your car, in your home, and you will reach your office very safely. Only when you get down, you will remember suddenly you have been driving the whole journey. How many of you have experienced this? Means you have trained yourself, automated yourself to drive as a memory, from memory, without you getting involved into it because of the wrong belief. Awareness can do only one thing at a time, so let more things be put in automatic system, so I can be attending to new things. One of the worst thing you do to your child, you do many worst things. One of the worst thing you do to your child is making the child believe in the young age he can do only one thing at a time. There you destroy him. Child should be wild, ferocious, because you can't contain him. You are too busy with your stupid TV, your gadgets now. I read a one-liner, again in the Facebook only. One man says, I was just looking my WhatsApp and entered neighbor's house and sat. She was watching the TV serial and went and brought coffee and kept it in the table. The house owner, husband of that lady, he walks in seeing his mobile and looks at me and says, sorry sir, wrongly I entered, and goes out. Because you cannot handle the child, you make him believe. Multi-dimensional ferociousness is not possible. My whole effort in the Gurukul is not to put a dam, but to put a bank. There's a big difference. River, wild river, needs embankment, not dam. Their multi-dimension ferociousness should be converted into powerfulness and power manifestation, not stopped so that you can contain him and possess him. Own children, don't possess. Whether property, children, husband, wife, your own body. Own them, not possess them. Owning means making it available for the ideology you are living for yourself and for others. I tell you, whether it is powers or wealth, friendship, business, anywhere, this is the only one principle. If you are convinced and you are able to convince others you are doing something great for everyone, you will just be winning the game. That's all. You will just be winning the game. That's all. That is what I call owning, not possessing. Listen. I'll give you one or two examples. How we dam instead of embankment. Embankment means making the river useful for everyone without disturbing its ferociousness and wilderness, making it user friendly. Dam means stopping it once for all. If any of you are thinking for power manifestation or for business success or for relationship, you need to get more organized, you are wrong. You need to get more ferocious. Listen, I'll repeat. Powerfulness, powerful cognitions about everything you deal in your life bring success, not more organized. Understand? I am not against being organized. That is not key ingredient of life. Key ingredient of life is powerfulness. One of the biggest problem modern day humanity is facing. They have been wrongly told, if you are organized, you will be successful. That is why everyone tries to create organization. Hey, what is organization? End of the day, there are tons of organization because they don't have a product. They have started selling our natural resources. Understand, humanity has seen too much of organization without powerfulness. Powerfulness is the product. Organization is a structure. Listen carefully. Your life itself is business. Power manifestation is a business. More and more powerful cognitions makes your existence, your business, your interactions meaningful. Most of the time, we spend so much energy on being organized. Once we created the whole organization, we don't know what to market because we lost the product in creating the organization structure. The structure becomes so complicated, the product is lost. Then we cook up the products which is really not useful for people or which was already available for people freely. That is what I call possessing. Owning means making you and others more and more and more powerful. Understand, I am giving you the unit of the whole. Means whether it is the health, your mental health, or your relationships, or your business, or your enlightenment, or your power manifestation, whole thing for life, I am giving you the unit. Everywhere, person who believes in being organized as a first priority finds end of the day emptiness. Person who believes in building powerful cognitions as first priority sees organization follows him. If you want a complete relationship, don't organize 10 SMS I will send, 7 times I will say I love you. The stupid books which gives you the tips for how to stop worrying and start living, and how to influence people and friends, win friends and influence people. Understand, if you want a complete relationship, start building powerful cognition about you, people, life, tiredness, boredom, middle age crisis, about all these. Build powerful cognitions, not planning to be organized. If you are organized, you will have marriage, not relationship. It is powerful cognitions keeps the relationship. Same way, health. If you want health, don't try to be organized. Oh, this many hours I will do gymming. This organization, this many hours I will do this. All right. Have you seen, end of the day, the great gymmers and bodybuilders? Have they lived long? Have they lived healthy? Understand, some of the biggest myths I am busting. Nobody becomes rich by lottery, even though there are tons of lotteries all over the world. In my experience, I have not seen a single man becoming rich by lottery. Second, pornography does not improve sex. Sorry, very boldly I am making the word. Porn only destroys your ability to relate. It does not make you more sexual or attractive. Organized does not make you successful. These are all some of the biggest myths. This is like this protein myth in every level. Whether it is patterns, relationships, life, death, right, wrong, go on building more and more powerful cognitions in your life. I tell you, building powerful cognition about health, about body, about life makes you more happier, live more longer, more healthier than any organized system. Please understand, I am repeating. If you want health, first priority is build powerful cognitions about your body, health, disease, about the whole thing. Give importance to that. Then any organized workout. I am not saying don't work out. I am not saying don't do anything physical. No. I am saying all I am saying, keeping that as priority, that as focus fails you. Keeping that as a focus fails you. We become plastic people. Organization without real product becomes plastic organization. Plastic people. Rather, die as a ripe seed, don't fall as a plastic bottle on the planet Earth. Fall as a ripe seed. Even when you fall on the earth, don't fall as empty plastic bottle. Pure product, no organization, is a ripe mango falling on the earth, will come up as mango tree. Intensely. See, the whole power manifestation is a business with cosmos. When you build powerful cognition about every subject, it manifests as powers. It is not question of impressing people. Understand, power manifestation is not
silly magic learning. It is not cunning way of impressing people. It is not manipulating way of showing people you are something greater. No. Power manifestation is drilling your system with powerful cognitions. All of you are able to see? See, the sushupti, this state, it's almost like coma. None of you experience during your regular day-to-day life. Very rarely you touch. In that you remain as a seed energy. From there, the natural flow of manifestation. Listen, I am uttering a word. Natural flow of manifestation. Towards Turyatita and Turyatita, the last, the state of Sadashiva. It is actually a natural course. But unfortunately, humanity is so messed up. Humanity is so messed up. Messed up is a decent word I am using. You fill the gap. No, we are messed up. Understand? Even if we have grown naturally, we would have had a conscious breakthrough at least 2 million years ago. The superconscious breakthrough, next thing, which should have happened. From amoeba to fish and fish to monkey, monkey to man, the man to Superman should have happened at least 3-4 million years before. We messed it so much. It's already too late. This natural growth, because it has not happened, it has been broken, it has been destroyed. Now I am trying to make it happen by removing the toxins. Understand? I am only a detoxifier. I am just removing all the toxins. So you can just naturally experience the original state of Sadashiva. Original state you are supposed to be in. I made now few statements, essence of the few statements I made now. 1, all these 25 are your 25 phases, dimensions. Nothing is good, nothing is bad, nothing is higher, nothing is lower. You becoming powerless only is wrong. Because you are habituated and prone to become more powerless in the lower states of consciousness, it is called lower states of consciousness. Clear? Sushupti is not lower because you are prone to be powerless there. We call it lower. How many of you are understanding it? If you decide to ooze out powerfulness there also, it is no more lower. It's not that I don't have deep sleep or dream state, but I have become so powerful there, they are no more like your dream state or your waking state or your deep sleep state. That's all. Understand what I am saying? In your dream state, you wander around, you don't know where you are going. In my dream state, I appear in your dreams and give darshans and blessings and whatever work. Just like how I'm working through Facebook, I work through the dream. Attending to devotees' requests, healing. So understand, all the 25 states exist for you and for me. I became more powerful than these 25 states, so all these become powers for me. For you, that the I in you is powerless in front of all these 25. That is why all these 25 is a load on you. Now, we need to do only one thing, making you more and more powerful in every state you are. Removing the loads of patterns from each state and freeing you to manifest powers in each state. Actually, if you have more addictions, more patterns, it will be good, because now all of them will become raw material. You will manifest more powers. Now really, you may think I am making jokes. I tell you, in my experience I have seen people who built more patterns and suffered manifest more powers and liberate themselves, because the suffocation and suffering becomes too much. Person who has suffered with chaos in the life gets liberated very quickly. Now really I have seen in many of my experiences, now dealing with millions of people, because chaos, see, if you have only one spouse in your life, enlightenment is option. If you have too many, it's a compulsion. Without that, you cannot run your life. You cannot manage your life. If you have too many patterns suffocating you from all corners, enlightenment is compulsion. Manifesting powers is compulsion. You can't run your life anymore. In each state, the powerlessness need to be pulled out. I'm just going to give you my support through initiation. I should say, I'm actually rebooting you, that's all. Control delete.